What is up, guys and girls? Welcome to episode number 140 of The Nonsense Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Today we've got something rather interesting to do. It's something Rick originally saw, and then when he told me what it was, I was like, that sounds fun, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah. It looked neat, and then I clicked it, and Rayman was there. Okay, yeah, it's a celebration of Ubisoft.
Yeah, so there was a lot of images of a very thick, curvy, hyena furry woman being slapped on the arse by Rayman, and I didn't know why, and I assume the origin of that meme comes from this show.
Yep.
Before we get too deep into that, those of you familiar with the show know we like to briefly talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe before we dive in. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
I finished Big Mouth Season 7. Andrew gets a little bit less hateable as it goes along, but he's still, the source of most cringe.
Okay, here's the problem I have with Big Mouth, is that it's a problem you get with a lot of TV shows that run for more than 3 seasons, and that is, you'll have a character flip-flop stance between season, which wouldn't be too bad on itself, but you usually also have another character whose sole function is to be opposite that character, and therefore they flip-flop as well, and it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, the other one has to flip-flop because the one that they're opposite to is flip-flopping, yeah. But I think the week has been actually pretty stacked for things that have happened. So we've had 2 celebrity deaths. Matthew Perry is the one that everyone knows about. He passed away under slightly suspicious circumstances.
Well, not really.
Well, the statement that I saw was that he sent his assistant to go and get something, and by the time the assistant came back, he drowned.
I guess we will have to wait for some kind of official statement to say there is no foul play involved at all. However, something people don't tend to realise is hot tubs are weirdly dangerous because of the sudden temperature changes.
Yeah, you can just pass out.
Exactly. It's really not that surprising. Like, it's tragic, don't get me wrong, but I don't think there's foul play. Also, if there is foul play, boy, was that stupid.
Yes. The other one is Richard Mole. He was Two-Face in the Batman animated series, and he's passed away at aged 80.
We're fucking losing loads of people from that.
I mean, it's been a while since it came out, and these actors were essentially in their prime at the time. But yeah, 80 years old is pretty good innings. Other celebrity news, Kurt Cobain's daughter Frances Bean has married Tony Hawk's son Riley, and the officiator was Michael Stipe from R.E.M., and I thought that was kind of cool for a cavalcade of kind of famous people.
Sure, I'm not invested in any of these people, but a bunch of famous people got married and there were other famous people there. Fair enough.
The Order of Yoni is a Polish company, and Sanskrit is the word for vulva, is partnering with Amaranth to make beer from her own personal yeast culture.
Amaranth the band?
No, Amaranth the hot tub streamer.
Oh, I don't know who the fuck this is then. Go on. Sorry, I thought you meant the band, and I was like, what? This is a weird story, but go on then.
Yeah, she is I believe the highest paid female streamer in the world, based basically on her Twitch numbers that she pulls. And, I mean, she's attractive, but she has a lot of parasocial fans. And, yeah, she's banking on their thirst in a more literal sense than usual.
Yeah, I don't like using... Whenever we're talking about a human being contributing their own personal yeast, my mind immediately goes to the downright disgusting.
I mean, yes, yeah. That's what the company does. They have their main page is like 5 attractive-looking models, and you can buy beer from their collection, as it were.
That's really, really gross. But I wish I could say this is the first time this sort of thing came up, because I still remember the Gamer Girl bathwater incident.
I mean, I think it was her.
That was Belle Delphine, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Belle Delphine, yeah.
Who I don't know anything about, I just know the name.
I think you can still buy a jar of Amaranth's farts, so that's fun.
Is it fun, Rick? Is it fun? I'm not gonna judge people on their fetishes. God knows I've fucking seen some weird stuff on the internet, but fucking paying someone you don't know who looks mildly attractive so you can purchase a jar full of their farts seems like a bridge too far. Like, go outside, have a walk, don't jack off for like a week, maybe clear your head. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, it's dodgy, to say the least. Henry Cavill seems to be confirmed for a Highlander reboot.
Sure, fuck it, why not? I can see it.
Yeah. Like, now that he's no longer Gerald, it seems like a good second banana.
For real, if there's any film that deserves a fucking remake, that's actually a pretty good one.
Diablo 4 is not something that I assumed that I would be talking about, seeing as we don't really care about it, but they're doing something actually kind of fun. They're doing a real-life event where you can basically register how much blood you've donated. And the idea is they want 666 quarts of human blood. This runs until the 20th of November, and if they meet the target, then they unlock things in-game.
How much is a quart?
A quart is a quarter of a gallon. Americans have short gallons, so it's a quarter of 6 pints.
And what's that in English?
So 1.5 pints, I think. So
okay, what is that in litres?
Okay, so let's do some quick calculation.
I'm very sorry, people, but okay, Rick, do you want to explain to the audience why measurements in the UK are fucking ridiculous? Because you're correct, most people do still use pints, especially the older generations, but I was brought up on litres, and I work exclusively in that.
So we still use pints in the world. When, if you go to a bar, you still get a pint. But it's a weird thing where, while the metric system was brought in, not everything converted to it, including roads. Roads are still in miles.
And if you weigh a person, it's in stoning, which no fucker in the world uses apart from the UK.
Yeah, we're the only ones that use stones. And I find it really weird, though. Americans do this like all the time with all the measurements that they have. Like, they don't rank up to the next thing. Like, they won't rank up. If they say that someone is however many feet and inches tall, half the time, if it's below a certain amount, they'll just say like 43 inches, which I think is fucking stupid. It's like when you say a baby is like 96 weeks old. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Wait, sorry, in America they don't use feet in inches, they just say the height in inches.
For requirements, they just say inches, which is fucking silly. So like, if you got a ride, you must be at least 43 inches tall or 54 inches tall. It's fucking silly. And I can't get my head around it either. And also, if you have an American sat-nav, it says things in numbers of hundreds of feet. So like, yeah, I can kind of mentally convert it into yards, which is essentially like 90% of meters. So if they say in 800 feet, then that's a bit less than 300 yards, which is a bit less still than 300 meters. But I still would rather them say it in yards or meters.
Oh, Rick, I'm isolating this bit.
So yeah, 666 quarts is 999 pints, and a pint is 563 or so milliliters, and divide that by 1,000. 562 liters of blood.
Okay, so this is a group goal then.
Oh yes. It's not from one person. No,
well, you couldn't get that from one person.
Maybe in a especially gory game, but yeah, it's they're looking for like over half a ton of blood. I'm assuming it's America worldwide, not worldwide, America nationwide.
So this is a proper, just basically a blood drive, as in to get donations for actual blood banks. It's not just a weird publicity stunt, and they're going to pour it on some cow.
Oh yeah. It's for the it's an actual blood drive and actually going into the health service. Other things, Deltarune.
Oh, I shared this with you.
Yeah. So you shared it with me after I'd seen it on another different article, but yes, Toby Fox has come out with a statement that rather than waiting for chapters 3, 4, and 5 to release together, chapters 3 and 4 are now going to be released together, with chapter 3 being pretty much complete already. He's hired a couple of extra people to, keep things on track. So when we get chapters 3 and 4, that's the one that you're going to be paying for. And I don't know if these actually said anything about chapter 5 as to whether that's going to be essentially a free update to 3 and 4. I think the intention was when you buy it, you just buy 3, 4, and 5 all in one go anyway. So that would stand to reason. Yes, it means that we're basically halfway between Deltarune 2 and Deltarune 3 and 4. So hype.
Suppose it's been years, man.
Yeah. And the last thing I've seen is that Disney Dreamlight Valley has moved their goalposts. Once again, they've moved the goalposts from being a free game that, you can pay things to get benefits in. It's now a $40 launch price. And if you are an existing $70 early access player, you don't get the $70 launch bundle because they've changed what that bundle is. You now have to buy the $30 DLC separately, even though the new launch bundle is also $70.
That's, okay.
Yeah, it makes me feel better about not having cared.
It's an interesting concept. It was always sold as it was like, hey, do you like Animal Crossing? Do you want it to be Disney themed? Here you go. And that was a neat concept, but
yeah.
It was a neater concept when it was free to play. Well, the initial, as you say, pitch was it'll be free to play. If you want certain things, you got to pay money. And I'm like, that's a bit of a shitty I almost said business practice, especially aimed at quite obviously small children. But I could kind of live and let live with that. However, it then changed to no, it's a full price game, and we're still going to charge extra for extra things. And it's like, okay, now that's just shit, so I'm going to avoid it. And now this, basically, they're taking their chance on making as much money possible from the existing player base, because no one's going to go in on this after the announcement.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only silver lining is that the base game is going to be still included with Xbox Game Pass. So if you are an Xbox enjoyer and your family does, subscribe to the Game Pass, then you can still do that. But I think that's enough waffling from me. How have you been? What have you seen in the wide, wide world, and what have you done?
Rick, I finished Spider-Man 2.
Cool. I hear it's fun.
It's very fun, but boy is it short.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
According to my PlayStation 5's, when you play the PS5, there's a little thing that tells you how much time you spent on a certain game, which I wish it didn't do for Baldur's Gate 3, because it's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm over 200 hours already.
But yeah, for Spider-Man 2, I've 100% completed the game. I've got a few achievements left to get, which are silly achievements like do 30 flips without touching the floor and go visit Aunt May's grave as Peter. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. I'll do those at some point. I don't really count them as 100% completion.
Sure.
But to 100% complete the game, as in do all the tasks, do all the story, it took 25 hours.
That's nothing.
I mean, it's one of those weird ones where, okay, this was a £70 game, by the way, so it wasn't, like, cheap. The problem I actually have is, if they added anything more, it would have been obvious bloat.
Sure, okay.
This is how long the game needs to be without feeling like a chore.
Probably about 10 hours of action with 14 hours of just enjoying the universe in between. It's probably about right, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd divvy it up quite like that, but I get where you're coming from. This game delivered everything that I wanted from it, and it gave me some things I didn't know I wanted.
Cool. It's going to be a long time before I get to play it.
I'm going to spoil side content, because I'll leave the story nice and easy for you. Although,
sure.
Considering Doc Ock was the villain of the first game, and the villain of this game was Venom, I'm not going to give you any prizes for guessing who the villain of Spider-Man 3 is going to be.
Yep.
They did some real fun stuff with the side content, mostly because it deals with villains that you don't deal with in the game, but are quite clearly either going to be in the DLC or in the next game.
Mm-hmm.
There's an entire side story that involves Mysterio, and it's literally just him going straight, and it's awesome.
Kind of cute, actually.
There's a really late game side quest, and I was like, I don't understand where this is going. Oh, guess what? It's because it's setting up the Chameleon.
Okay.
The only other side content I want to talk about, because I did not expect the reveal, and I feel really stupid for not seeing it. There's this entire cult of fire weirdos, and the very last mission, they revealed that what they were after was a secret fucking Osborn thing, or Oscorp piece of tech, and that thing was another symbiote, and I was like, no, that's weird. Why is they doing this? And then the main guy from the Fire Guys picks up the symbiote. Oh, look, the symbiote's red, and they said there will be carnage, and then they fucked off, and I'm like, what is this game doing? But after the mission, the person you did the mission with just goes, oh, they've had like several aliases, and like the last alias they say is Cletus Cassidy, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now that makes all the sense as to why you didn't say this fucker's name before now.
Yeah, because saying the name spoils the thing.
It was a good reveal, I liked it. I will say no more about Spider-Man. Play that game if you have a PlayStation, because it's a good fucking game.
Yeah.
Rick, I also bought a new game.
Did you? What'd you get?
I bought Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory.
Alright. Is this one of the remakes?
No, it's the Kingdom Hearts rhythm game.
Okay, fair enough. Is it fun?
It's very fun. I really like it.
Nice.
How I came about buying it is one of the weirdest roundabout stories ever, because it's been on my radar for a while, but it was a £60 game, so I wasn't going to pay £60 for it, because it's like 3 years old at this point.
Yeah.
But what happened was, a mutual friend of ours shared a link with me that, hey, Final Fantasy 16 music is now going to be on Theatre Rhythm. I went, that's cool. I don't really want to pay money for Final Fantasy 16 tracks, but that's cool. And I went, I wonder if that game I wanted that was Kingdom Hearts but Rhythm is on sale. And wouldn't you know, it was on sale for 20 quid. So best 20 quid I've spent.
Sure, nice.
Because it's all Kingdom Hearts, they're able to maintain themselves true to the graphics and art style.
Yeah, okay.
So they don't have to turn it into the Theatre Rhythm 2D characters, which they also included anyway, but only on the loading screens.
I mean, that's kind of cute, though.
It is kind of cute, but boy, this explains why Kingdom Hearts was never released as a DLC on the Theatre Rhythm games. Also, you know, all the Disney bollocks, but...
Yeah, like, if there's enough to make a whole game, then yeah, why wouldn't you just make a whole game?
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. The issue I have is that you could probably make a whole Rhythm game based on one Final Fantasy game anyway.
Oh yeah, easily. Like, the fact that you have essentially lands of Final Fantasy games means that, yeah, you could just expand that, just add 50% more tracks, and you've got essentially like a 2.5 hour, like, romp through that soundtrack.
But instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take out certain key tracks that we know you love and charge you an extra 30 quid for the deluxe edition that includes them.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rick, for the last couple of weeks, I've been binging What We Do in the Shadows on Disney+.
Oh, okay. That's the one with Taika Waititi, isn't it, right?
The movie is. The movie it's based on is. This one is, it follows a different crew in America, different crew of vampires. It's been funny from start to finish. I finished season 4 about 3 days ago, and then, magically season 5 just dropped, so I watched that as well.
Sweet.
It's great. They've got great celebrity cameos, including Benedict Wong, Mark Hamill, and Danny Trejo.
Okay, cool.
But Danny Trejo just plays Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
But which is great, but then you got Mark Hamill playing Jim the Vampire. And yes, that's his name
Jim
in the show.
Vampire.
Oh, it's fucking great. They could probably end it now. They could probably just say no more seasons, but I think they could get another season out and wrap it up really nicely with a neat bow.
Sure.
But yeah, Rick, let's talk about the thing we've both actually watched and we could talk about at length. Rick, Helluva Boss Season 2, Episode 7 came out.
Yep, this is cementing this entire season as the Fizzaroli season, and I'm all for it.
I don't know if being the focus of 2 episodes makes it the Fizzaroli season, but go on.
Well, like, the fact that it's 2 in a row kind of makes it, it draws attention to it. I liked this episode, maybe not as much as the one that came before it, but yeah, it does feel like, yeah, they got the Beetlejuice guy, as in Fizzaroli's voice actor, to do more songs. So I had to write an episode around that. But yeah, it was good. It was a good bit of fun. And I didn't think they were going to top the Two Bitches song, but they did.
You bringing up the Two Bitches just reminded me that in between, just before you sent me the link saying, oh, this is out by the way, I realised Helluva Boss was out because there was just sexy fan art of those 2 characters. And I was like, this is weird. Why is this always happening to me, Rick?
You find things out because you got inundated by things on Twitter.
Oh, it's not even Twitter, it's Reddit. That's the problem. Those people are fucking horny.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, we finally met Mammon. That makes what? 3 of the deadly sins we've met? 4 if you count Lucifer from Has-Been?
Mammon being voiced by Michael Cusack.
Yeah, I told you you'd recognise the voice.
Yeah.
He might have had the best joke of the entire episode. It was right at the beginning where he goes, you're going to have to try really hard because as we all know, women can't be funny. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, in the faintest writing possible, written by Vivian Madrano.
Yeah, and it just disappears almost immediately after that. It's great.
Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster. It's one of those where I enjoyed the episode. It was as fun as it was a very generic plot.
Yeah, the conversation frustrated me.
Which one? Because it happened 4 times.
Oh, yeah, and I know, right? Like, the whole idea of, I have to do this for me, because otherwise, like, I'm gonna feel like I'm a failure and nothing. Like, that should basically have been the way that it went, and that should have been okay. It's okay to want to do something for yourself, especially when you're wanting to go out on your own terms. This conversation ended up happening, like, 4 times during the entire episode, like you say. So, yeah, it was a bit frustrating.
You and I are on slightly different wavelengths with the way you worded it, because I get where they're coming from a little bit, because the whole reason why he's being compelled is because Mammon is a manipulative piece of shit.
Yes.
And the other characters can see that, but Fizz can't. From that perspective, I understand why why Fizz's friends are being persistent, because, anyone with eyes and who is removed from the situation can see how fucked up it is. It's just, as far as watching a story unfold, it's very frustrating seeing the same conversation 5 times.
Yes.
It was still a good episode, and like I said, when I say the plot's generic, it's just like, There's a episode in every fucking show ever, which is famous person is really sick of the obligations of being famous.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like sour grapes from people who are in the industry and can basically use media as a way to vent their frustrations. But it's a case of like, oh no, my third Ferrari got its tires muddy. Whatever shall I do?
Obviously, the difference here is the fact that it's in hell and literally having sex toys sold of him, which is kind of fucked up.
Yes.
Oh, the incel in this episode was too real.
Oh, he was. I think he's possibly the character that has both most deserved to die, and people have shed basically nobody will shed a tear over this guy.
I'm getting flashbacks to She-Hulk, where the people that the show was taking the piss out of were the most vocal about going, why are you taking the piss out of this? Because you're evil.
Yep.
Man, I think the most real part, though, was when he was first introduced and he got told to fuck off in both polite terms and unpolite terms, and then immediately went from praising Fizzaroli to, oh, your show sucks anyway, and I'm like, that's the realest fucking reaction I've ever seen from those freaks.
Yeah, and it's not even just fans either. It's like that kind of person will behave that same way for people that they're trying to flirt with.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm calling them an incel.
Yeah.
I bought you a drink. Thanks. Will you sleep with me? No. Well, you're fucking ugly anyway.
Yep.
That's literally how the conversation goes.
Yep. Fucking silly.
And it would be funnier if it didn't turn to murder.
Yes.
Rick, you ready for some news?
Yeah, let's go.
Turns out sniffing birds isn't a crime.
I might need more context.
Oh, Rick, you're familiar with Chris Packham, aren't you? Spring Watch, Autumn Watch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he does a thing on camera where if he's holding a bird, he'll sniff the bird. Don't know why. There's nothing wrong with that. But some people complained to Ofcom about it, and Ofcom said, what do you want us to do? Like... So, translation, people don't like Chris Packham and are trying to do whatever they can to make his life a little bit miserable. I'm not even the biggest fan of Chris Packham, but this is fucking silly. In other news, Rick, someone's let the dinosaurs out.
Have they indeed?
Yeah, this time over at Capcom.
All right.
They say that, that quote-unquote, modding is cheating and piracy.
Fucking stupid.
So what's happened is, because people can mod whatever the fuck they want into the game on PC, they're claiming that this is basically stealing because they could just put in potentially costumes that they could release as DLC.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Oh, I know that, and everyone else in the world knows that, but these Capcom dinosaurs are like, we could be getting more money. We should stop people from modding.
Yeah, they've decided that the thing that they have not yet started charging money for, they're also entitled to money for.
If they do actually do what they suggest, which is I forget the exact word, but they used to do it all the time to stop people from jailbreaking their games. If they roll that out to an extent that people just can't mod shit, guess what? People are either gonna, 1, find out more malicious ways to break your shit so they can mod it, or 2, not buy your game on PC. One of the whole reasons people buy games on PCs instead of consoles is, alright, fair enough, if you have a beast of a PC, it might run better, but also, you can mod very easily via PC.
Yes, generally. There are mods or something, the mods will run on PC. Like, that's just what it is. Very difficult to get mods to run on anything that's not a PC.
But here's the weird thing, Rick, is they're trying to obscure what they're doing, because despite releasing that statement, they also released another statement, which was, they can also mod our games to make them obscene against our wishes, which is the most obvious smokescreen I've ever seen to try and justify their bullshit.
Oh yeah, they're using essentially the threat of pornography to get other dinosaurs to vote in their favor without even having to bribe them in court, Congress or whatever.
It's their own company. They can do what they want. They're not... This isn't a legal thing.
Okay, but what I mean is if they want to set a precedent within the world's legal stage for outlawing modding, then that's the kind of argument that they would use when they take it to politicians.
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't see it getting that far. I see this getting shot down almost immediately. Mostly from other game developers who are like, this is a bad idea.
I mean, they'd have Nintendo on their side, and that's kind of a problem for us.
Do they have Nintendo on their side?
Yeah, because Nintendo also believe that Nuzlocks and ROM hacks are piracy.
Okay, cool. In which case, this is a Japan problem.
Yes.
That's okay.
Unfortunately, Japan makes a non-zero proportion of the best games, so yeah.
Do they though?
I mean, they did.
Rick, we alluded to it already. What are we doing today?
Today, we're doing Captain Laserhawk. It's available on Netflix. It's a Blood Dragon remix, episode 1. And if you're joining in at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
If those of you are wondering why Rick said that a bit disjointedly, it's because the title says E1 and then Episode 1. Which is fucking stupid.
Little bit.
This is a fucking opener.
It is a bit, yeah. Oh, he said crumbling empire, not Kremlin empire.
No, that's owned by different people.
I mean, between 2016 and 2020, it was pretty much the same thing.
I certainly wasn't expecting this to be the way it opens.
No, me either. Yeah, the only way out is to play Rayman.
Dead Sick. Why do I recognise that name? Oh, capitalist dystopia is too real, Rick.
Oh, it's not Mega City 1. Like, Mega City 1's the one in Judge Dredd. This is Mega City 2.
Wow, Rayman is, his art style looks very different to the rest of the show.
I'm sure that's intentional.
Oh, definitely. Go. Legally distinct Power Rangers.
Yeah, the Prism Rangers, yeah. Yeah.
Fuck off! That's a real wrestler, Rick.
I know. I'm so far I'm entertained.
I'm entertained, but I don't really know what the fuck's going on.
I'm sure it will come together. Like, so far, yes, it is a little bit of a...
If you know more about Ubisoft, you might recognise more characters and therefore having more fun.
Mm-hmm. Is this Bionic Commando?
Yeah.
Probably.
It doesn't look like the OG art style, but then again...
Yeah, they did a reboot, didn't they? I say recently, but not, like, actually recently.
Well, the Bionic Commander I know had dreads, so...
Sure. This might just be Bionic Commando Player 2.
Or it might not even be Bionic Commander at all. Although, you know, it's a bit odd that he has the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that has been a fucking rumour forever, right?
Yeah. I saw a YouTube short of someone talking about his Oh, okay, so that is Captain Laserhawk, I assume. Yeah, someone talking about his physics professor who was very uninspired. But when someone talked about not wanting to have a mobile phone because it gave them brain cancer, went into making a full-on PowerPoint presentation the next day about what different radiation did.
Yep. Man, this is just balls to the walls, over the top nonsense, which, considering it has Blood Dragon in the title, I should have expected.
Yeah.
Ah, you get it, because they're pigs.
Yep.
I don't know what it is about the dude just chilling in the back in anti-gravity that's so funny.
Yeah. Floating in anti-grav, yeah. Aw.
Oh, well, that came out of nowhere. This smooth jazz I can't say that fucking word, but you know what I'm trying to say. With this guy beating the shit out of fascist military.
Yeah.
Oh, his heart went doki doki.
Oh. Oh no.
Like, for real, the that's gonna kill them just as much as it is the bad guy. Quote unquote.
Hmm. Go, Captain Laserhawk, go.
If anything, it is a bit of a flaw in the design that every time you're in anti-gravity, it's entirely automatically controlled. You know?
Yeah, it's one of those where I can see certain reasoning behind it. However, we're seeing the downside of that reasoning very, very blatantly during this segment.
That's a fucking homage to something, but I couldn't tell you what specifically.
I think it's most action movies. Like, all I can think of is like McBain.
I can't believe how far in the future we're meant to be, and the car still has a fucking cigarette lighter. Those don't exist now!
You can pay extra to get one.
But, can you really?
Yeah. Yeah, we got one. We got one in the most recent car my dad bought. Because he was unsure as to whether or not there'd be
Look
a
at that.
cigarette lighter.
Did you see that fucking 8-bit fucking title card? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Like, even the 8-bit music that they were doing.
Yeah, continue your story about fucking cigarette lighter in your car.
Yeah, he wasn't sure that it was going to have the cigarette lighter as a PowerPoint, so he asked for a cigarette lighter.
Does Rayman just do every fucking TV job here?
Apparently. I think he's just... Because it's Ubisoft World, like, Rayman is just the Ubisoft IP, so he's essentially used for everything.
Sure.
That's like an internal meta commentary thing.
That fucking Rayman voice sounds a lot like Zach Braff. Zach Bragg. What the fuck's his name?
Zach Braff.
Is that his name? Fuck. The guy from Scrubs.
The one from Scrubs, yeah. Yeah. Zach Braff from Scrubs.
So this is obviously propaganda and not the true story. Did we just see a fucking furry cow man?
We did. With a broken horn.
Fuck off!
A must watch for everybody. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's too real, Rick. Oh, they do this all the fucking time on certain news, and I use news lightly, news programs.
Yeah, it's all like truth, justice, and the American way. This is also doubly real.
It's not lost on us that everything is Ubi.
Yeah. Also, the what some people can win from the contest is the same as the fine that you get for not watching the propaganda movie.
Lovely. That sounded like fucking what's his name? Boy, that's not helpful. I'm sorry, Rick.
Yeah. I can't even divine who you might be talking about.
I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. Now, if you know that the big number one bad guy, quote unquote, of your town has the ability to look like other people, why would you not have some kind of biometric scan? Never mind the fact that his bodyguard is literally just the other guy in the fucking picture on all of the TV shows. Like, here's his disguise.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, that is a cool little feature.
Yeah, it's like pre 3D Metal Gear.
Yeah. Like, the sound effects are giving me FF7 vibes.
Yeah. Like even the soldiers look a bit like Shinra soldiers.
Oh, fucking... We were talking about Mega Man earlier. No, we weren't. We're talking about Capcom, which makes Mega Man.
Yep.
Okay, I guess they could just full biometric scanners as well.
Yeah, that's a hell of an ability.
There's a time for flirting, motherfucker. Oh, fuck off.
It's pay to win and everything.
Oh, come on, I'm waiting for the fucking ball to drop, because they can't have been that easy. Yeah, okay.
Yep. This guy's had fun.
Oh my god. Yeah, Ubisoft's most hated enemies, people who pirate their shit.
Yeah.
This is some anime shit, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, here come the Prism Rangers.
How fucking... Like, these guys are obviously fucking jobbers, but, you know, how fucked up would it be just standing there watching your enemy being like, discussing how they're going to divvy up your parts when they kill you? I'm loving all of this.
My head's bopping. I want to play this.
I wasn't expecting this. Like, you're right, Rick. I do want to play this. I wouldn't be surprised if we go on Steam in 5 minutes. They're like either planning to release a game or release a fucking game to go along with it. That being said, if you play a game of this, it will not look as good as this.
No. Remember that Netflix do games as well, though. Like, you can download some games through Netflix. Some of which are just straight up apps on, like, Google Play.
I've never heard of that. Well, they ain't fucking round, are they? I'm gonna shoot off the shittest fucking insult ever as my dying breath.
Because you didn't see a body. Oh,
That's a fucking insult, isn't it?
Gummy bear Gestapo.
Well, I kind of figured that he wanted the thing more than anything else, but I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, no. Just ask him for help.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than someone who will give up anything for their cause. Lae'zel, this is why your character has development. Well, Dolph's gonna have some fucking trust issues after this.
Yeah. Yeah, the second love's gonna have it rough.
Is Cody Rhodes secretly in this? Because I'm about to freak out.
Is it actually Paige? It is. It's Jaden Paige. Oh, there we are.
They've even got his dumb...
Paige and Jade from...
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Paige and Jade from... I think it's Beyond Good and Evil.
I really wouldn't know. I haven't played that game. I'm still freaking out at Cody Rhodes. They've even got his shit fucking neck tattoo.
Yep.
Who the fuck is this?
This is Gex.
No, it's not Gex. He's not... He doesn't look like that. Oh, fuck off. He's from he's the Assassin's Creed, is... This is a hell of a fucking team, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Rayman to be a villain. Who's it going to be, Rick? That's the question, right? I don't know who that is.
I also don't know who it is until she says.
Fuck!
There he goes.
We've got a Suicide Squad situation going on. It is the Suicide Squad!
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a real catch-22, ain't it?
Mm.
Okay, in every single Suicide Squad story, there's always one character who's an obvious jobber, whose sole function is to prove that they're not fucking around when it comes to killing off characters. I can't believe in this scenario Cody Rhodes was the jobber. Oh, Cody Rhodes was voiced by Cody Runnels, aka Cody Rhodes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still marking out over here. Give me a minute. Oh. Wow, Rick, I don't know what I expected from this, but it sure as fuck wasn't what we got.
Nope. Absolutely. And from something that we just saw on Netflix when we were looking for things to do, this is one of the winners of the year, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like, what, 6 episodes or something?
I think so, yeah.
This is probably going to get binged very, very quickly by one or both of us. Why the fuck have they made the frog? That's a very cute vanity card. I'm very curious as to why they made the resident assassin a frog.
I think it's just to cash in on Ninja Turtles without being Ninja Turtles, and it's just Assassin Frog.
That doesn't make... I don't think so. I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Ubisoft have got other things that they've done. They didn't have to just, like, make the Assassin's Creed thing a frog. But, you know.
I think the problem is if they made it... I think what it is because it's a frog and not Ezio or the other one. Who was the first Assassin's Creed assassin?
Altair was the first one, then you got, what, Connor for number 3?
I didn't play 3.
And then the rest of them don't matter.
Oh, fuck off. 4. Fuck, Edward Conway, I think. Even I can't remember their names, so what the fuck? And I like that game.
Yeah, if it's not Altair or Ezio, they don't matter.
So basically, yeah, if they
they stick around for one game and that's it.
Yeah, if they made it Altair or Ezio, it's like, cool, this character can't die. Because, you know, those characters are too badass to go out like jobbers.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I don't know where the fuck this is... I really... Like, this entire episode set up something that did... I never in a million years thought this was going to be just Suicide Squad, but Ubisoft characters.
Oh, yeah, like, at no point during the, like, first 92% of the show did it look like it was setting up to be a Suicide Squad. Absolutely
not. In fact, well... Again, I had suspicions that the other fellow cared more about the heist item than Dolph, but I wasn't expecting him to go full on stab in the back.
Yeah, it screamed more to me that he was going to be the end of season twist villain rather than episode 1 twist villain.
Yeah, and at the moment that seems to be a huge motivating factor for Dolph, is to find out why, even though he kind of already knows why.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, we've waffled a bit, Rick, and the credits are finally ended, so therefore I must ask, what did you think?
It was a lot of different forms of joy condensed into a disparate collection of weirdness and fun. So, yeah, I liked it. It's probably going to get binged. How about you? What do you reckon?
Yeah, this episode went like 100 miles an hour, but did it well?
Yeah, it's one of those times where mile a minute actually served the art direction.
Yeah, like, I mean, we both freaked out every time they cut from regular animation to, oh, we're doing 8-bit now, we're doing 16-bit, we're doing Mega Man-esque capers.
Yeah, because half the time when they did that, they also cut to like a really like well-crafted and lovingly composed chiptune version of whatever they were doing as well.
Yeah, man. And unfortunately, we were at mid-story of you talking about cigarette lighters in your car. But the fucking the title fucking drop was stellar.
Yes. It just reminded me so much of like early Mega Man, like Mega Man 2, where they just pan up the building. And I think that's like the most iconic Mega Man that they've got.
I mean, honestly, I thought it felt more like Castlevania panning up onto the castle. But it's the same shot for all intents and purposes. That being said, I'm still marking out Cody Rhodes being in it, because what the fuck? I know he's a bit of a video game nerd, but I don't fucking know. Anyway, Rick, time to do our wind down, I think. Do you have, I know it's difficult, a favourite moment?
I think it was when we had the fight that wasn't really a fight. It was more the smack talk conversation before the beatdown of the Niji 6, i.e. the Prism Rangers.
Like, they really did feel like just straight up Prism Rangers with the fucking bullshit they were putting us through.
How about you? What was your favourite moment?
Oh, well, it's Cody Rhodes. What is Cody Rhodes doing here? I've said it like 5 times.
He even said that he was showing up at the beginning as well, and like we didn't believe it until he happened.
But yeah, we can't only talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad. Rick, do you have a weakest link for me?
Not really. Like, normally in something like this, it would be that it was a mile a minute, but I don't think that was a bad thing in this situation. So, I don't really have a weakest link. Oh, I guess maybe the fact that even Ubisoft know that they're predatory, so they're taking a dig at themselves for, like, Ubibucks. So, maybe the fact that Ubisoft isn't the best company, but at least they're having fun with it. So, yeah. How about you? Do you have a weakest link?
Yeah, I think my weakest link is, despite loving it, a lot of the first 18 minutes didn't really have anything to do with what the series is going to be about.
Unless this is one of those things where everything gets solved in the first 10 minutes of episode 2.
I guess, but yeah, I guess you're correct. In the first 10 minutes of next episode, we could have a season 2 of, or season 3 of Rick and Morty going on where, the Suicide Squad storyline, we decided to get rid of it.
I'm going to have to revise my weakest link to Paige not looking like Paige. They had to tell us that it was Paige because he looked nothing like him.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the franchise enough to recognise it anyway.
Yeah, so instead of looking like a slightly orcish human with a big old mustache, he's just a pig dude. Like, he's got like a snout and everything, is what he's meant to look like.
But that might be a stylistic thing, because again, they've decided to make, and I reiterate this, the assassin a frog.
Sure. They've not shied away from other furries. Like, we've seen that random wolf man, and there was the
twink cowboy.
A cow dude who was a literal cowboy, and there was a cow lady in one of the shots before they broke in while disguised as that CEO.
Vice President.
Same thing.
Either the weakest link is the fact that the first 20 odd minutes didn't really make much sense or have much connecting with what's going to be going on with the series, or if they fucking flip it on its head and make the Suicide Squad thing last 2 minutes, in which case flip my weakest link on its head and just be like, yeah, okay, so this Suicide Squad was just a way to get rid of Cody Rhodes because I didn't want to pay him anymore.
Yeah, just to let him have a cameo and just be able to get rid of him as soon as they needed to, yeah.
But Rick, it's our all-important question. Do you have an MVP?
I think I'm actually going to have to give it to Niji Red, because he was the one that commanded my attention throughout that entire scene. Like,
Rick likes Disgaea, guys.
I can't stress how much I liked that scene and that interaction and how those guys just played off each other. Yeah, it was fun. But how about you? Who's your MVP?
My MVP is so very obvious. It's whatever mad fuck decided this needed to be a thing.
Yeah, the one good egg at Ubisoft. I'm sure there are many more than one good egg, but the good egg that managed to get it past the board of directors.
Whoever conceived of this in their mind's eye, they deserve big props. And tangentially related, whoever wrote this, because it can't have been easy deciding what bullshit to throw in.
Especially when the answer seems to have been all of it.
Like, for real. And bullshit you don't expect, like a certain very famous wrestler. But not the obvious one.
Oh, yeah, not Kenny Omega.
I mean, I'd argue John Cena's probably more famous than Kenny Omega, but sure.
I mean, in terms of, video game stuff.
Here's the thing. I have to assume Ubisoft has some kind of agreement with WWE, because that's who Rhodes works for now.
Sure.
Although I'm pretty sure if they fucking asked Kenny Omega probably would have gone, is it video game related? Oh, it's weeby as fuck? I'm in.
Yep.
Can I rope in Toby Fox, because I kind of know him? But yeah, this was a surprisingly fun adventure, and I wouldn't be surprised if both of us have it in our weeks next week. Oh, so we binged Laserhawk. That's the end of us for today. Those of you watching on YouTube, do drop us a comment, let us know what you thought, what kind of things you want to see in the future. We are open to suggestions. Alternatively, if you're not watching via YouTube but instead listening via one of our many audio platforms, you can instead send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. And as always, if you made it this far, you're our favourite people, and we'll catch you again next week.
Bye.